Let's make it happen, cats. About that bottom line, baby. Give me 65 is life.
Oh, 07. All right. 007 Shimpasta. What is going on, man? It's going. Preparing for another week and just taking it all in and just mulling over what's about to change with Star Citizen. I think we're in for a few surprises and improvements overall. Yeah, and surprising too, fun and surprising because they have so many avenues in which to to deliver upon. So it's anybody's guess as to what's coming next. Or CitizenCon Direct. I would go CitizenCon Direct. Or let's say the Halloween event, right? What is it? The Day of the Vera? Is that what it's called? Day of the Vera. It would be cool to see. We're kind of saying, hey, zombie outbreak, but it's like a scientific virus that just makes NPCs go crazy, and regardless of the armor or no armor, this viral whatever it is, or experiment or drug, almost seems like they're bulletproof. Like they'll get shot and they get back up, kind of deal. And you got to get headshots, man, to really take them down. So that will present itself as something interesting. And if they get close, they bite you. And if they do, you're out. You're tagged out. You're out of the facility. And I guess the goal would be, you administer you would get to where the ground zero was for the virus, to get samples to take back to see what to create the potential antidote. That would be fun in itself. But I know they don't have a lot of bandwidth to make those things happen, but something to think about if they can't get it for this year. Definitely next year to dial that thing up and really do some creepy stuff. Especially with, the depths are coming for Area 18. Kind of do some variant on that. Some variation on it. I mean, just to, Day of the Vera, make it a interactive event. Scale it up as a full-scale mission, I'm up for that. Oh, shoot. Shit. Damn it. Ooh-wee. That was not pretty. That's one quick way to get back to Stanton. Holy smokes, man. Yeah, the physicalization, a dent in it, a scratch in it, Definitely, that's what we need. More to come with that, with ships in general. The next step is bringing in the medgel capabilities, medbed capabilities of the tiers of ships. Oh, one thing, I don't know, are you a Galaxy owner? I wanted to say, if you were, I did look up the Galaxy and their medical module, which, I melted the Apollo for the Galaxy. But, man, you talking about hit lotto. The first one for me was the Galaxy builds bases or homesteads, a base building for a Galaxy. But then I went back, I looked at the Galaxy, looked it up on Star Citizen Wiki, and realized it also will hold a tier 1 medical beds. Oh man, I hit the freaking lotto twice, not once, but twice. I don't care if I have to buy a cargo grid. I don't care, man. Best decision ever, right? Holy smokes, man. Best decision ever. Dude is ready for Microtech, isn't he? Wait till that Yeti get him. The Yeti get him. Wait till the Yeti get him. It's versatile. We were speaking, the irony of it is the Drake Caterpillar is the epitome of modularity. Its sheer design screams modularity, and yet here we are still waiting for the updates for the Caterpillar. But here's the thing, not to Debbie Down it, but by them with the Retaliator and such, this gives them a good way to kind of segue over the validated tech itself, bring it over to the Drake Caterpillar, and come up with some really cool ideas. Maybe the med beds, maybe higher capacity of cargo. That's one. Definitely med beds, cargo, refinery, right? You have those same disciplines within the Drake Caterpillar. Maybe some other things. Maybe weapons storage. You have the modules that fit in there, and maybe there's an armor storage module. The different types of armor and clothes that you want to wear, outfits for missions. I think that's something to be said about that. Maybe a lot of ideas. Maybe a pharmaceutical module where you can collect samples of flora, fauna, DNA samples, synthesize it, and you create your own meds. And it spits kind of like salvage. You create the cocktail, and then it spits out its own med pens right on site. So those are some ideas for when they do have the time to really update the Caterpillar. I think that in itself would be interesting. Maybe create small bases from the Caterpillar. Have drones in one of those modular compartments. So yeah, I can see that with the Caterpillar. Maybe a module where you have Gatling guns on 2 on each side, or 1 on each side, for like a drop ship sort of deal. So a lot of open opportunities for the Caterpillar to be really a versatile ship that will generate again more sales for a ship that's already in the game and existing, by bringing in that extra versatility and task capabilities. That would be cool. Also, maybe a module that is just a enhanced shield generator. I don't know, but then that would make it OP though. It's like no. We need to be able to pirate that ship. But if it's cargo based, it's cargo enhanced. Well, maybe. Well, they're talking about the different variations of cargo. They have to be, you have the sensitive cargo. It can't be, moving around too much. Volatile cargo that's sensitive to heat. You can have a cryo room for cold storage. Like maybe body organs once we get into medical. Right, so you have quite a number of different things you can do to enhance and bring in modules for Drake Caterpillar to make it more enhanced.
Stanton's capital of commerce. Whatever your transaction, we wish you a beneficial and prosperous day.
But yeah, I just thinking of the next 2 years in general, which is not far off. We could see definitely a marked improvement in the game overall,
All security and customs personnel.
which I'm ready to see. Benoit strategy going forward. I'm really excited about how that approach will change the landscape of how we play the game and what we do in it.
Hello, and welcome to Riker Memorial Spaceport.
Think we'll see or hear us from CR?
Metropolitan
I think so. It's CitizenCon, man. We gotta hear from CR.
destination.
He's not too busy for a CitizenCon. That's his wheelhouse. That is definitely his wheelhouse. Yeah, it'll be good to see CR and hear from him and
Offer amenities such as resort sharing,
hear about more
rental partners.
things they want to do.
Learn how you can invest in making our home your new home.
Star Citizen is missing a home for players. Low key though, I really hope they put base building into tech preview for Christmas. Well, just the mechanic, right? To see how it works. Maybe not the large, medium, but definitely the small could be possible. Could be possible. I wouldn't dismiss that. And if it's tech preview and it doesn't work well, it's nothing that should, or it won't interfere with the live build. I think Benoit kind of alluded to tech preview becoming a more so of a hub of making it an environment for more, a push for more features and for us to test. But I think on the Benoit side of the development, it's more about the back end and server stability and resilience, right? And I think the features or the disciplines that the devs have specifically to their departments, it's an enticement, right? It's to say, okay, try this feature, get in the game. I want to see high concurrency, high pop servers, and then I'll do my work. But in regards to features and things of such, I'm also looking at that as well, because now there's checks and balances towards what's being created by the developers, and they have tools now that will better track, good data, the concept or the adage of good data in, good data out. Out is on our end. So crap in, crap out. But no, that is the old process, and to the point of it's not an instantaneous process, because as he stated, this is a big operation and it takes time. It doesn't turn on a dime. So you'll see some residual legacy process being filtered through, but it's not grandfathered. It's immediately being changed. It's being vetted, it's being flagged, and internally it's more of a it's by department managing their own thing. And I think this now, it really gives the project management tools that will help not only leadership to see that things are working right, but it helps. And in what do you say? It supports the project managers even more, right? It validates why they're there, and then they can actually bring it to the attention of devs who need to fix certain code after it's been released. And so it's more of a, hey, check this, check that. This is your baby. So doll it up, man. Make it look cute. And before it hits the live or the main branch. But even still, if it gets through, it's still flagged as such, and it becomes a priority, which won't allow them to move on until it's fixed. But I think also to back up, as a backup, just in case, well, not so much of a backup, things can still filter through, and this is why he is ramping up on his end. Benoit's in with the Montreal team. They're putting together his 150 plus team to actually, like as he stated, refine Star Citizen. They're in the business of refining it when things fall through the cracks, because it's so much. It's such a large volume of coding and features. And even though it could work well in house, when it merges or interacts with other departments. Coding, it can create havoc. So that's what the refinement is all about, is just making sure everything is cohesive and it's cohesive and it works well, it plays nicely with each other in the same environment, which makes sense. But that structure, man, it can't. I looked at the YouTube of it, and I heard comments of people who basically has been developing for decades, and they were really highlighting the things that I was noticing too, the restructuring. And he said, any good company or any healthy company, they do that. They do those things. They have a structure. This individual said it was good to see that the structure is now in place. And so I think I felt good about that, because I was on the same page with people who's been in the business for decades, and it validates my insight on what I heard. And it was encouraging to know that it's moving in the right direction. And it has to. These things have to happen because, based on how the project was started, what it was predicated on was showing proof that there is a game, because the community supports it, not the publishers or stockholders. So, in order to keep funds flowing in, they had to, quickly. Not methodically, but quickly show that there is a proof of making a game. So the back end suffered for that, because you had to push it in, slam dunk it in, and just show that, hey, look, there's a game here we're making. But now, years later, it's been a battle of just getting features in to please everyone, make them happy. Then you have to please them and make them happy because of what was placed in the game that has a resulting factor of not playing well or not working well with other features in game, bugs. So that restructuring, man, is huge. Love my cutter, man. Look at that. That's what it needs to look like. Some sort of a little bit of realism to it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, sir. The cutter is one of those ships, man. I hope that other ship I was trying to identify, we were first thinking it was the command module for the Ironclad and Caterpillar, which, nope, I don't think that's it, man. It's not it. I'm really geeked out for IAE because we'll probably see some things like, I didn't think they were working on this. What? Now, the thing is, here's my question. Do you think those 4 to 5 ships or new ships, I'm thinking it's more of 4, the new concept ships, do you think they're oh, shit, again. What is wrong with me today? What is wrong with me today? I think it's the eye tracker, man. What? I do I need a Snickers bar or something? Van ship, right? Yeah, because I'm flying it. No multi-crew this way. Holy smokes, what is going on with me, man? Shall we do this again? Oh God, no. What the heck? I don't know what's going on. I installed the eye tracker. I wanted to get back to it, and I guess I'm in a daze with it. Holy smokes, man. Toby eye tracker. Holy smokes, man. Yeah, I'm gonna tweak some things with it. That means I needed to go to my inventory anyway, and I failed to do that. So I guess that's probably why I'm back here, man. Needed to get some supplies. It's yeah, I think feature wise they did say we're getting 4 patches. We have 4 left. The density of them, we can only wonder, right? How impactful, we can only wonder what those features will be come added in. And I think there was a statement where Benoit mentioned he alluded to Vulcan at the end of the year. Now I think some of us will look at that and say, okay, immediately they place in their minds time frame, end of the year time frame. Oh man, end of the year time frame. Because it's not telling sign of what that means. I guess some of us naturally will connect to the time frame at the end of the year. Looking at it from, there's different perspectives on how to look at it. I think one way that I looked at it was not so much of, oh man, that's all the way to the end of the year. That's kind of late at the last minute. Oh wow, you're going to drop this at the end of the year. You're all going to go on vacation, and it's probably going to be screwed up. Yada yada yada. That could be one aspect of it. Another aspect of it could be Vulcan is, they're planning to do a lot with Vulcan, open up Vulcan to support a lot of different things within the game. First one would be what we kind of surmised or guessed was balancing the CPU GPU usages, and how there was an uneven balance of it's bound to one or the other in instances. So this gives them insight as to how well things are optimized, or how badly they are not. But also going forward, they're able to utilize the Vulcan technology to ensure that the cores that we have, they're being utilized efficiently. They work well. They play nice with each other. And then also in turn, it helps them with the optimization process for their software. 07 Finra. Vulcan will open up a lot of performance and also features. What is that? The RTX technology, like the shadow features. You can utilize that, but actually, there's another aspect of it too. When you start to add the features to ensure that it opens up and it's fully accessible and it works well. Let's say you have a potato PC. No one's going to sit here and say, oh man, my computer is 7 years old and this is what I'm running. They'll just say Star Citizen plays terrible. You'll hear that. Oh, this game is not optimized. It's unoptimized, right? And you hear a lot. You hear some of that. I'm not gonna say a lot of that. I don't know the frequency, but you hear some of that, and that could be a contributing factor. Other contributing factors could be their network provider is underutilized or not set up correctly, or they're just bare boning the bandwidth or the internet access. So yeah, Vulkan can help with bottom line requirements, and it will give some players a boost, or allow some players who were not able to play it maybe a slim chance of playing it by utilizing incremental updates to their PC, like maybe a graphics card or a CPU, as opposed to a full-on brand new system build, right? Which can be expensive. It's still expensive. I think that helps. That's another advantage of what Vulkan could potentially provide. And that's by the DLSS scaling, right? You can upscale it to make it, play better. I think that's very important. The AI software, it's getting better. They're shifting their processes for things to the graphic card via Vulkan, incorporating. Yeah, it's opening up to a lot of things. And I kind of looked at the latest missions, the Onyx missions, and seeing how that played out, and where, man, can you imagine if the AI was really, really utilizing better optimizations and really leveraging the AI potential of NPCs in game? Man, it's like it would really it would force us as players of FPS, as well as flight models, or not the flight model, but FPS and dogfighting, PvP dogfighting, PvE, no, not PvP, but PvE dogfighting. That dynamically and potential changes a lot of things, whether they're pirates. Okay, speaking of flight, dogfighting, PvE, whether they're pilots of backing piracy or backing the UEE, such as bounty hunting or just providing security. Can you imagine AI-driven NPCs that would then be able to disable your ship, take your cargo? You have a blending of the disciplines of PvE, flight, combat, as well as FPS skills being utilized seamlessly between NPCs. And you're sitting there and wondering, wait a minute, is that a real person? Or, oh, wait a minute, that's AI or NPCs doing this now? And I think that's what they want. They want to, and I think that's the beauty of seeing the development. I think there's a lot of attitudes you could have towards seeing the development. Yeah, there's ups and downs in it, but there's some positivity in how they develop and improve upon. And we're on the cusp of technology just really, really taking that next leap forward. I mean, immensely. And they want to be at the forefront of it. CIG wants to be at the forefront of it due to the fact that they are currently developing. It's like some people see it as one of the handicaps, but I think CIG, Chris Roberts and all, they're looking at it as an advantage because they're able to uh, encompass those disciplines, those new technologies into what's being and how it's being created. I saw a comment too. I brought up Benoit and the comments from people who watched the video and saying, "What a shame that they're not utilizing the established architectural standards for MMOs. How they're almost ignoring that. What a shame, right? Valid, could be valid, but that's a respected opinion, right? And so I look at it this way too. What as they're not going with the conventional MMO standards of creating just that other game down the street, similar neighbors. They have the opportunity to incorporate new technologies and leverage that into their engine, which is a constant development forward, to basically create something that is a new horizon for games in general, based upon technological standards that are emerging, right? Leveraging AI and such and things of that nature. So it bodes well to say it's the R&D side, but it's also watching that process develop and seeing it and being introduced to us right in front of our faces. But yet, while at the same time making the game evolve into something that we've never seen before, even though there are standards that's still current that we should adhere to because that sustains a foundation, but they are definitely open to changing and emerging and evolving and integrating newer technologies. That's the beauty of that's. I think that's the one thing I've learned about CIG on the positive side of them developing and pushing forward these things. And overall, outside of the bugs and let's say all that was just something in the rearview mirror, you're looking at great potential here. And the reason why we're all still here, whether we, at times where we say, man, this patch is good, or man, that 3.18, man, I can't get over it, or they need to do better. We're still here watching this development evolve in front of us for a reason. People are like, hey man, I get it. I complain sometimes, it's valid, but am I going anywhere? No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm seeing something happen here. Seeing something really interesting here that's happening. And it's different. And it's different in the means of what is an MMO. And that, for me, I don't have a lot of experience with MMOs, and neither does Chris. Well, building them, creating them. He's played them, right? A lot of us have an experience on both aspects, how to create them and how they're to be played. But he wants to go in it with his concept of what he has done in the past, what he believes in regards of a sci-fi environmental universe. He wants to leverage the MMO numbers, but he wants to integrate it into this universe that he and CIG is creating. I think that is the huge difference in aspects of MMO standardized processes and Chris's vision. That's where the rubber meets the road, where the fork in the road start to emerge, and you're saying he's forking away from those conventional and standardized ways of making an MMO. But then he still has to play by certain rules, right? Hence why we have a Benoit who can kind of be the mad scientist, man. But he knows the rules of the baseball game. That's an analogy. But he wants to throw a little cricket in there too, right? With a splash of football. but he knows the game rules. Blackwater Go 07. What is going on? So yeah, it was a lot of talk, I pushed forward a little more with the video today. Early this morning, had some coffee, mulled over it, and just it's more process related and existing tech and the plans going forward. But I think also he had to hold his tongue on a lot of things, because I think you'll see that at CitizenCon. That's going to come out in CitizenCon. And I think that's when it's more of a part 2 of what he's been really working on, and where the devs are going, right, with their technology. But rest assured, we're more like, where's dynamic server meshing? And I guess the unfortunate thing about it was a mixed review on the update with dynamic server meshing, and I share that. But I say mixed because you look at dynamic server meshing and you say, okay, where are we with the entirety of it, or the established process? And so you didn't get that fully, and I think that was the disappointing part. We were like, where's dynamic server meshing, the full entity itself? And I think the answer was unexpected, because he said, well, it is right now, we're working on it, right? So it's like, oh, we're working on it. What, that means we gotta wait. He's working on it. So all right, then he alluded to say, but we're utilizing systems that will give us the data for how we will deliver upon dynamic server meshing, right? So we're like, oh man, right? Okay. The other part was, well, that in itself is basically saying we're using this that has high concurrency. We need to do this because we're seeing that bit of data. And so all that combined results in how we go forward with dynamic server meshing. The other part of it was, well, you're seeing dynamic server meshing. The elevator debacle, I say debacle, but the elevator pain in the butt that's been just terrorizing us for quite some time. Bits of the new process is dynamic server meshing, which will continue to report so that it can fulfill what the full process and full implementation of what dynamic server meshing will become. So it was kind of like, well, okay, yeah, but all right. It's like, okay, you got me, man. All right, I gotta wait and see. In other words, I gotta wait and see how this thing plays out. But it's one of those things of where is dynamic server meshing? And he's like, look around. It's bits and pieces already, but it's not here yet. And so, the concern is how far reaching, or how far do they have to collect, or how much data do they have to collect in order to implement it further, right? To implement it further. Okay, that's at area 18, 13 minutes. I'm gonna crack it down to 4. Uh, 07 Rocket Rizzy, 07 Femra, he's saying the interview with Benoit is mostly just a rehashing and explanation of stuff they've talked about before. Some of it. There were a few things about long-term persistence that were interesting to know, but I don't know that they needed to spend 3 hours on that live. Um, well, in order to well, to fully, that's Benoit. He's detailed oriented. In some instances, film you have to look at it from that person's perspective. This is why he is the chief technical officer. He's a detail oriented person, and he's garnered Chris's respect. I think some of our respect as well, because of how he was able to turn around a lot of things and actually get things implemented and moving in the right direction. First foremost, they almost been connected since 2012. They ran into each other through the movie industry. Benoit was the go-to to do whatever it is he does on a level of, I don't know how to do this type of thing in Hollywood. Special effects, CGI, I mean, you name it, all these different aspects of data that's garnered by the movie industry and then some. And so Chris knew him from that, but then that relationship sustained itself. So I probably mine, get some quick money. So in regards to Chris and Benoit, he gained his respect, and then which we didn't know behind the scenes, Turbulent, he was a part of Turbulent, and then Turbulent connected with CIG, and they really got a lot of things done. And so began his relationship and his tie-in with CIG. And so him turning around things and the problems that started to bubble up with what was going on with everything software related and server related. And fast forward, he's shown that his mindset can turn things around. So I think he's earned that space to really command and hold the room on what his thoughts are, because this is such a volume of change or volume of processes that's involved, and they're intricate, and hence we have the spaghetti bowl of code. I think he effectively in that conversation explained what that was, but then there's other aspects of the elevators, the vetting and the quality control of things, the pre-existing things, and then when you kind of sum it up, it's hard to say, well, I need you to just wrap it up and just put it in a few minutes and blah blah blah. I think it's a good thing that he can delve in and deliver upon high level details or the nitty gritty, details of things, and then switch gears. But I think it's not just for one person to hear. I think he gives you okay, this is for you to hear because you're listening or you're looking for this. This is for you who's worried about this. This is for that person who wants to hear and see what the situation is with that. And so when you try to answer a lot of these situational issues of, what's going on with this, with the back end, what's going on with the servers, it culminates into a lot of time, especially having to recall that and stay on task with the details. It is what it is. So I think it was a necessary thing because it encompassed the entirety of the process. It also answered a lot of questions for a lot of people. But then some, like I said, for some, I say not a lot of people, but some people. Some people will say that's too, you say it's too much. Some people say it's too little. Or some people says, I want to just, talk about how does it make the game play, or, everyone wants different answers, and you can't. Unfortunately, he won't be able to answer everybody's questions. But to know that he has a plan, and that some of it is a substantial, where it makes sense. It makes sense enough, and then now all we have to do is give it the time and space to actually mature and then grow into that plan. But we've seen over the years how he's turned around a lot of things, and like I said, he's garnered and earned the respect of. He actually got the 4.0 working. He actually got the freaking static server meshing going, and even then, that was a tall task for him to just get it in his hands, carve it out, release it, and then put out the dumpster fire that it was. So I thought he did pretty good. And he didn't blink. He didn't stutter. He was very focused in where the direction was. It wasn't based on this is what we want to do 5 years down the line. It wasn't, well, I have this concept. It's like this is the trenches. This is how it's going to turn around. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But that's just my insight on it, or my view of it. But I think for everyone, the telltale sign will be how will it play out once they start to introduce what he has as a process or concept of actually producing and delivering upon, changing things around and allowing the project to move forward. I think that's going to be pretty cool. But it's also enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and seeing how things evolve when we can look back at 4.3 all the way to 2 point something and see like, wow, there's some progress, but they have a ways to go. And I think he's working around the major software dump that was just get it in, just get to the next patch aspect of the process. Now it's more of let's refine it as we produce it, as we introduce it to the live branch and get it in our hands. Let's get it right. Let's get this process going the right way. And again, time is going to tell, because we will not forget it. Some of us will not forget it and say, hey man, look, he talked about this, he said this. So we just have to hold and have that patience and understand that, like you said, it doesn't stop or turn on a dime. It's going to work itself out in time. But it was encouraging to hear, and everyone's not going to be convinced. He's got to prove himself, right? He said, "Okay, you're a CTO. We're going to see how that works." And we've been waiting for this for quite a while. So, okay, let's see here. I'm going to deliver this.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected.
I want to see this fixed. This right here, this Archimedes. But what you're seeing is they would really have to go in and change the back end of this ship, and just basically it should be it could be a small grid or a hangar back here, which would have a little bit of room. But I don't know that connecting module, man. I question it because as you play it, you play with the ship, it eventually disappears. So it's got to be something that's going to persist. It's going to be interesting how they figure that out, but it's not a priority. But yeah, again, I was happy to find out, looked up the Galaxy, and the Galaxy has, I think, 6 beds as well. Very similar to the Apollo. But it makes sense because it's RSI branded. But it has 6 beds, and you can select the tier 1. I'm all smiling, man. I was like, best melt ever. I think I hit the lotto twice, man. One with the base building module, and then this. The refinery was known. That's why I went with the. Galaxy, because it had refinery, and then 07 to Todd Pappy, CitizenCon, he revealed that the Galaxy will build bases. So I was like, yes. And then go back later, with the Apollo and all the, I wouldn't say controversy, but the conversation about how the bed tiers work, what you get if you go max with the number 1 tier 1. Then under that is tier 2, and for the least amount of injuries, tier 3. And I looked at the Galaxy and I said, oh my gosh, 6 beds, and you can choose tiers as well. Tier 1 all day long, man. That is cool. That is cool. Love that about the ship. But I don't know, are we going to see a preview of ships for next year? What's coming down the pipeline? After IAE? I would think so, because it's CitizenCon. I definitely would think that it wouldn't make any sense and you don't hear anything about ships, because that's its main source of revenue for the game. Let's get this. Okay. So I can only imagine what we're gonna get in the next 4 patches. There's 4 patches now. How robust they will be, don't know. But I would probably say the quantum travel could be on the list, possibly. The new quantum travel. That's one feature I think that's possible. The FPS scanning, that's possible. New scanning for ships, that's possible. And one of those 4 patches before the end of year, or at the end of year, the possible 4 patches. Let me cheat and look at the roadmap or the progress map. Gives me a little clue as to what makes sense or what's close to being released. Like you said, the stuff. What would that be, Fenrir? Specifically, updated star map. That's possible. That's possible. The interaction system. I'm not sure about that. What is that? Let me look. But I'm thinking, what about the hand walking mechanic, the zero gravity hand walking, taking away the booster? It's a utilizing more of the what is it, the utility tool that will, it's like a grapple that pulls you, more of that evade push pull. Yeah, that's a possibility now, because that's been that is a validated piece of Squadron 42. That's in Squadron 42. That's a possibility. I definitely see that as doable and something they talked about a couple of years back. I think some of the features, I think there's some features, if it connects or if it's related to something that they have to have before it, I doubt we'll see it until that main or that foundational piece is in. And I think now with Benoit at the helm of how things are going to be delivered, I think he's going to be very methodic in what is to be delivered, what's deliverable, because he doesn't, again, he's not going to fall into that, hey, this is buggy as hell, or he's going to make sure that whatever's released, it's not causing calamity to the live build. Hence, he may circumvent that by introducing the preview tech and adding more wanted, not needed, but more wanted features into the game through via the preview tech channel. And then once it's vetted by usage on the server side, then they can start to incorporate it into PTU and you know, and they go through the phases of wave ones to PTU for all. I think that you're going to see more of a methodical process, things that will not interrupt. That is loud. That will not interrupt what we have with live as they continue to refine and make it a cleaner and refined, playable and interactable session or time to play when we're in it. Oh shoot, that looked weird. You see that? And that's another thing they mentioned about the hangars. It is utilizing some sort of the tech with dynamic server meshing, because they're all the servers are sharing resources to allow us to work through that. So we might see another instance of the hangar being closed somewhere else. Oh, let me do this. Oh, Oh, flight model, guys. Flight model for sure. They're going to introduce some things, I'm sure. Flight model is on deck. I think more aspects of the control surfaces, right? More aspects of the control surfaces. We're going to see flight model happen. I don't know about Maelstrom, because I think Benoit mentioned some things about Maelstrom. I don't think they're there yet with it. I could be wrong. Everyone. Uh-oh. Okay, reconnected. We're live. We're back live. So it says we're for 4.3 AI. This is AI based. This is a feature that's not yet out, but they're working towards 4.3.1, I think. AI FPS turrets. Okay, they're committed to the NPC drop ships. That's going to be a thing. Okay, I got to step away from this. Go back to it. Interact. Bring it up. Okay, there we go. And introducing dropships in Pyro, defending outposts and deploying reinforcements when the local population is attacked. I think that goes to both sides, right? If you're in a criminal located place, or if you're looting a place. Character 6 entries. Sniper, that's released. Wicklow combat stealth suit. ASD light combat stealth suit. New hairstyles. And there's another one, the 4.3.1 hairstyle is committed. Heavy utility armor, that's committed. Core tech, ladder improvements, that's been released. Dynamic snow, it's released. Gameplay. Committed. That means the Apollo, implementing MedGel and expanding the overall medical gameplay loop with deeper mechanics around respawning and tiered injury treatment. It's a thing now. It's here. Onyx facility, that's released. Committed. The 4.3.1, that's the finale. Right, we know we're gonna find out what the Doctor has been up to. Via on Addison's watch, she's all about that technology and science, and now we see how it's gotten out of whack. He took it too far. He went off the rails with this stuff. The ASD tech is going to be finished. That story is going to be finished in 4.3.1. The Wolf was released. Wicklow special ships. I heard mixed reviews about the Wicklow. I think even Benoit was saying that has not been resolved. And so that's going to discourage a lot of people messing around with Wicklow. They were talking about even throwing Wicklow into Klesher, man. Like, what? And I said to myself, man, what if I would have gotten into that, trying to grind for Wicklow? Ship flight tuning changes, light fighters, updates on light fighters for the Gladys Arrow, the Hawk, Banu Defender, Talon, Blade, Quatual, and Mustang. Accelerations. There's changes in the space combat maneuverability as well as the navigational speeds, accelerations, and angular speeds. And okay, so in PTU we have the Apollo and Triage. So I'm glad for the people who purchased that. Volt Sniper Zenith, that's released. The Volt LMG Fresno, that's been released. Oh no, it's committed. It's not out yet. I'm sorry. Apologies. The Bearing Laser Cannon Art Refactors, that's been committed. Updating the Bearing Cannon's art style and geometry. Now, this is the nitty gritty here. Star Citizen 1.0. What could be possible? Okay, I'm gonna put it out here. The releasing audio mode, a systemic solution for expressing game audio in depressurized states through effects applied to audio and an increased emphasis on the resonance of sounds through surfaces and physical contact. In other words, have you guys seen the Expanse or any series where you see the actors put on a space helmet and you kind of have that kind of a closed-in sound, like you're in a with a helmet on, and you can tell you're inside of a helmet type of deal, that kind of thing, sort of. I think that's also that depressurized states and those special effects. So I see that coming, right? I don't see dynamic server meshing being a part of it. Star Audio, a new suite of tools and tech aimed at improving the quality and fidelity of sound in Star Citizen. I think that could be one of the things in the patches to come, potentially, right? Global Illumination, end of year. I think Benoit did say, I think they're pushing to get that by end of year. So Global Illumination. Genesis Star Architect, new tool that scatters ground locations based on environment and designer data to populate the world of Star Citizen at an unprecedented scale. What if it is ready? Would you put it in Planetary Tech 4? If I was Benoit, I'd be like, why are we going to waste work and resources? Continue to work on it until we're done with Planetary Tech 5, until it's ready to release, but have it ready. So we may or may not see it. I'm leaning towards we don't see it. And speaking of which, Planetary Tech 5, implementing the next generation of world creation with increased scale, complexity, and believability. I think that's a push for next year. That's a major push. Don't upset things right now. I think the way we would probably see it is probably through the tech preview channel. If there's a chance that it's ready, it would only be tech preview channel. If there's a chance that Planetary Tech 5 is ready. Genesis dynamic weather, real-time simulation of weather fronts on a planetary scale, including rain, wind, and thunder. So that's system-based, I guess. So why do this in Planetary Tech 4 again? I would say let them finish Planetary Tech 5, then add this dynamic weather. Whether we agree with it or not, pun intended. Quantum travel. This is one of the things I said we could probably see at the end, up to the end of the year. Quantum travel experience is becoming fully physicalized, including quantum boost, a faster method for short-range travel. Pirates are going to be upset, but it is what it is. Guilds, rewards, and content for different professions to players as they complete contracts and earn reputation. Next year, insurance, taxes, and warranty. New systems to handle medical, item, and vehicle insurance and associated fees. That carries a lot of data. Dynamic server meshing has to come first for that to be a thing, where everything is valid according to each individual's tax and insurance and warranty status. It has to travel across systems. It has to be consistent on that basis of it following you and has a resonance of what you do if it's valid. So it has to cross all disciplines across the server or servers dynamically. Dynamic server meshing, I think, will hold on to that and be the foundation for this. Law and security, implementing an updated system that handles law infractions along with security responses to criminal activity. Yep, data dynamic server. You need to be able to track all that, which it falls into reputation version 2 and bounty hunting. New player professions. Addition of new player professions to the persistent universe. Okay, and then I looked at the detail. Addition of new player professions to the persistent universe, such as builder, crafter, explorer, athlete, and more. Next year. Yeah, because it's other things that needs to support this. Introducing permadeath and associated consequences to Star Citizen. Yep, I see that in the next patch. And you know I'm BSing right there, man. You know that. Don't even pump the brakes. You know, you're like, I'm not even looking forward to that. You can keep that. A new vehicle component enabling to autonomous operation of various aspects of vehicles such as turrets. Isn't that AI blades? So I see AI blades coming. I see that coming, AI blades. But how well will it work? I think they'll put themselves in a little bind if it's not working right, and it leads to ships being destroyed. I see that as a tech preview until they can get server SPS got to get higher through optimizations. Desync has to go way down, but I see them thinking about, should we try this? There's a chance. Item misfire and wear, adding depth to equipment functionality with item misfires and gradual wear, requiring regular maintenance to ensure peak performance. This to me says these item misfire and wear, that's Maelstrom, that's physicalized items. And even, I think it far reaches just items and weapons. I think it also reaches into the components and controlled flight surfaces of your ship. That's falling into the realm of crafting. You craft something, it's at 100%. It goes through wear and tear. So yes, that's probably later, next year. Fire hazard. Bringing fire hazards to ships and environments along with fire extinguisher mechanics, requiring players to manage and extinguish blazes before they spread. That's a slippery slope because physicalization, damage, wear and tear, it follows suit to that unless it's some sort of placeholder. But I think if they release that, it will require more work, more rework, potential bugs and issues with it until things are physicalized, right? Oh, let me get my items here. Let me go to the refrigerator. Over here, this becomes a refrigerator. Sustenance. This is my refrigerator. Yeah, I only need one to the refrigerator bin. I think I have med pens. Okay. Ammo. Do I need ammo? Oh crap! I need ammo. I'll get it at the station. Armor. Change my helmet out. Holy smokes. Oh, my armor's probably over here. Oh, wait a minute. I think I lost that helmet. My dead body. I think I can go back and get it. Can't find it. Do I have my marker? Def marker? No, I lost it. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, let me head back. Let's see. Do I have my Lux? Yeah, I just put it on the backpack. All right, let me go. Let's go. Let's get going. Charge and drain. Expanding the utility of the multi-tool with the ability to drain and transfer power between objects, unlocking new puzzle solving and support roles. I can see that with these new missions that are coming. I can see battery usage being a thing. I think they can implement that. Life support. I think engineering, that's part of engineering, I guess. Integrating life support systems into ships. Making oxygen management and environmental controls critical for survival. I think that'll be an aspect of base building as well, because you need modules, you need components to supply oxygen in no oxygen locations for you to survive in your environment. And here we go, engineering gameplay, which they want to get out by the end of the year. Benoit mentioned that with the tech preview channel first. Introducing dedicated engineering roles aboard ships, allowing players to actively manage power distribution, repairs, and system efficiency in real time. I think we're going to get a heavy dose of that come CitizenCon, of the actual mechanics. I think a refinement is probably in order. You'll see that potentially. Solar Flare, that's coming back. We'll probably see that by end of the year. For Pyro, unleashing powerful solar bursts with the Pyro system, creating dynamic environmental hazards that players must navigate and prepare for. You did see that the Carrack has that canopy now that closes up. Vehicle radar and scanning rework. We may see that by the end of the year, reworking vehicle radar and scanning for all vehicles. I think they're scrambling to get that in. And I think it'll come down to the finish line for the end of this year. FPS radar and scanning. That was another one we mentioned we could see before the end of year, right? We'll see that one. First-person radar and scanning gameplay, improving situational awareness and bringing new tactical gameplay. Oh, it's about to get rough and ready. In-flight control system and control surfaces. I think we're starting that process is already starting. I think we're going to see more ships involved or integrated into that new process that are aerodynamically sound. But I think they're going to introduce at CitizenCon the opposite of that. VTOL-enabled ships. It's like those VTOLs. They did give a little hint about the Aurora getting its rework. So the Drake Cutter, the Valkyrie. What's the variant of the Valkyrie? Where the engines can rotate. The Cutlass is going to be like that. Let me say, are we ready for fire and life support and all that? We need to get those desync issues out of the way, Femra. And Genesis, woo, that's a tough one, man. Yeah, you're talking next year stuff. Hangar upgrades. Expanding personal hangar customizations with new upgrades, layouts, and functional improvements. We're going to get a heavy dose of that. The functionality improvements, I think Benoit has already alluded to and given hint of, you already see dynamic server meshing. You're seeing it in your hangars, the instancing, and it's being shared across servers. There's the tech debt is being balanced out. So now they're going to build upon that. So I see that for the end of the year. Hangar upgrades for sure. I could be wrong, but I'm saying for sure. Where it's more of, because we're not getting base building, it's more of a feel for it. It's more of a segue and a preparation towards it. It's gonna feel good. Some of us are already, taken to decking out our halves, and you're seeing more persistence with your own hangers now. It's to say, get ready, here it comes, right? It's on its way, which is really cool. Soon, TM, TBD, soon TBD. All right, let's see. It doesn't want to see this. I'm so upset about this thing. It's like this game is not about riding on rails, and yet here we are riding on rails. Isn't that crazy? If you can't get the rail aligned, you're not going anywhere. You got to kind of reset things by coming out further in order for it to track. You got to be on that train track, that virtual space train track, in order to set your location and allow yourself to go there. They realize that. They're like, oh man, but it was cool. It was a cool effect in the beginning, right? The Millennium Falcon getting itself aligned and charting out that nav spot, and it's inspired by that. You see that as it's a movie staple of your travel in space and stuff. It's got to go. I found that the universe likes irony. That's hard to fathom, but yeah, the hangar upgrades is going to be I think that's going to kind of keep us a little happy, because you're going to get that persistence. You're going to kind of get a feel for what base building will be like, having your items laid out. Hangar updates for sure. I think we're getting that before end of year, or within those 4 patches, I can see hangar updates. And then, lo and behold, marketing is going to be a part of it. But I think it's going to be some cool items. Yeah, maybe it could be the tech behind it could be its own specialty of the cargo grid, right? Because it's entities such as furniture or a set piece that belongs there, right? So it will lock and stay where it's supposed to. Maybe give it feet, invisible feet that will allow it to lock in and be upright. Kind of like utilizing the cargo tech, the cargo grid tech that way. The sewers, yes, Fenra. 4 patches. They already have implemented the ASD, the Onyx. We're going down in facilities, and we're going up and down floors, jumping down, going further down. It's just steps and doors, right? No elevators, steps and doors. Yeah, I can see that. The lower depths, it could definitely be on the docket for end of year. I think that's one of those closeout featured missions for end of year to say, all right, we're on holiday, enjoy the lower depths. One of those things. Enjoy the lower depths. Yeah, it would be cool. I think it's one of those things where you're instanced, and they can get instancing in and kind of again, Benoit, he gave that little nugget of we're capturing data. That's gonna get you into that space onto those servers to heavily populate them, and then I think it's the dress rehearsal for dynamic server meshing for next year, basically. I'll bet your bottom line. I bet your bottom dollar. Don Cornelius is like, I bet your bottom dollar. Yeah, I think they're gonna. It's the final dress rehearsal. They know next year they gotta get dynamic server out. It's gonna be a segue to possibly Squadron 42 not coming in 2026. So you gotta have something to kind of keep people in the frame mind of just, okay, I got it. No, I'll play this until then, right? But no way, no how do you release that Squadron 42 game and it's not ready? No way. It can't happen. You cannot let that happen, Chris. You have a responsibility and a mandate to make sure that the people who pledged for it, they get what they were expecting. Not a rush job. So damn dates. And it would have to come from Chris. And I'm okay with that. I just want to know, say it right after CitizenCon, whatever the case, but get it out of the way, Chris. I'm totally okay with it. Because I play it, it's got to be seamless, man. It's got to be right. And I think there's another thing we were talking about, too, in regards to Squad 42. The first release, it's got to be on point. It's got to be polished. It's got to be gold standard. But I think I would say or suggest or ask CIG for chapters 2 and 3. If this is not already the case, I'm thinking and hoping that this is the case, that chapter 1 is the tutorial we've been looking for all things that are Star Citizen, to how you play, how you get into the game. And so it also incentivizes more people to want to play it, because it is the segue or the opening act to how you play it in the MMO. I really hope that is the case. Oh, the pirate code thing. Fimra, the Valakar, right? You didn't look, dude. Did you see the Valakar, the water-based Valakar? It looked like one of those serpent things in one of the Alien movies when it got inside that guy's helmet. But it looks like a serpent. So a new creature, the Valakar variant that got into the sewer. It's the same, the old alligator lore. And those things come out of the water, right? Or that parts of them just stay in the water and they come up, rise up, and you're going, you're walking along the paths of the sewer. So you got enemies in front of you, and then you have enemies to the side of you. Creatures, the Valakars, and then the little ones sliver onto the ground, and you're there dancing and shooting the ground, right? So it's your new Copian, slivery Copian. And then what is this? The new detox pen is the new anti-venom pen. Yikes! Anti-venom. And your toxic levels are at a high that you're like, dude, I'm feeling a little woozy. I'm feeling woozy. The poison. And you die and you have this greenish tinge to you because of the toxins, the poison. Oh my gosh. And she pasta laughs. You puff up, man, like a puffer fish. My dude is blowing up. Looking a little thick down there in that armor. That armor's like pressing, getting pressed. Freaking poison going through your veins, man. Or those things that are venomous. Ugh, gross. Player space stations. Well, Ian, the artist, the art director, Ian. I want to say his last name, man. I feel feel like I'm so disrespecting him. With, I don't. He's good, man. He's got that movie esque style of art. But he said something about new space stations for the concurrency. We're gonna get rescaling. That's another thing. The hangar should scale according to our ships more properly. So player space stations. That's I don't know. That's a 50-50. I'm leaning towards 45-55. 45% that it's not, that it will come out. 55% it will not. By implementing the ability to build homes among the stars with the introduction of player-made space bases. So that's crafting. Crafting itself. Shimpasta is big on this. He was adamant about that one. Crafting. Base building. I'm sorry. Crafting. Implementing the ability for players to craft various items using resources from throughout the persistent universe. I don't think that's ready. That's a lot. Because I think Benoit said they're capturing a lot of data on things you can interact with, I think, or I don't see that. Not yet. Not until they have finalized what you can interact with, and once you're able to interact with those things, what can you do with them? But it's also opening the door for them to kind of maybe or surprise us to say they're going to start production on the Endeavor, because I think they have a couple of things that could help bring that into the game. You know, crafting what? Medical. The next level of the next iteration of medical surgeries, adding cybernetics, potentially. Base building, implementing player constructed planetary bases. All work encompassing the ability for players to construct and maintain bases, including resource generation, commerce, and customization. See, man, you only want that in. I would only want to see that in Planetary Tech 5, right? And I want that to be in Planetary Tech 5. And so the visuals are nice and crisp. I don't know. Yeah, base building. Tech preview as a sample for testing, and they pull it, and they start it next year. It would be interesting for them to. I don't know if would be a Benoit decision. Let's say I get to be Benoit for 5 minutes. And I would say my approach would be this. Tech preview, small bases, right? The next step for next year, first quarter, small base building. A quarter after that, the medium-sized base building. Tech preview again. All the while, I think Pioneer may be ready for the next IAE come November or end of year. So coincide the extra large and large base building functionality, not only for the Pioneer, but for the Galaxy, as well as the Starlancer BLD, right? But you'll have the little Surveyor, little floating pushy thing. Surveyor pushy thing. to build your small base and tech preview. First quarter for next year. Second quarter, the medium size, and for the end of the year, large and extra large for all disciplines across the board, which will be the Pioneer, the Galaxy, and what is it? The Galaxy, Pioneer, and the Starlancer BLD. Extra large and large base building, end of year, next year, 2026. I think that would be cool. I'm hoping that's doable and it makes sense. If I had to be Benoit, that was my 5 minutes of being Benoit. New missions, location, repair. New mission types introducing repair mechanics, requiring players to restore damaged outposts, first debuting in Pyro's Lawless Frontier. We'll see that. I think we'll see that before end of year. We had a little basic of it with the mission in Onyx. So you have the repair salvage tool that can come in and do basics of that. But I think it's a tier 0. They get to add more, incorporate some of the things from the multi-crew engineering aspects. So, yep. And let's see. Player-to-player trading. No. I say no, because you're going to need crafting, right? Next year for that. Player organizations. Nope. You need the numbers to support that. Implementing the ability to create and fully manage player organizations, including a dedicated mobiGlas app. Wait a minute. The structure for it in Mobi on the back end, 50-50. 50-50 with that. Social mobiGlas app. Creating a new mobiGlas app to manage friends and contacts. Again, 50-50. That's 50-50. Citizenship. That's all 1.0. Elevate your status in the verse by becoming a citizen to gain unique rewards and benefits. Planetary shields. Nope. Ownership. Nope. Utility tunnels. I think that's something to be said about Planetary Tech 5 and the Interior Initiative. They're gonna, when they build out these interiors, utility tunnels and things of that nature will be incorporated, probably not in just Area 18, but all locations. The seedy side of those cities will be a part of the gameplay features, and expect creatures as well, and expect people that will be a part of that underground culture, alternative, or a mirror image of that society's dark side, potentially. It opens the doors for gameplay, variations to the existing cities, and it's mission based, right? Yep, quantum travel, I can see that. Imperial Sports Federation. I don't know about that. The Council, organized as the governing body for legality. The Council is a collective of syndicate gangs and outlaws who mandate criminal activity throughout the system. So there's an order. You can't just be a maverick. They're gonna come and get criminals who or pirates who kind of like do things on their own. It's kind of like saying you're in someone else's territory doing things on your own behalf. And I think the only thing that can, the one thing that could support that properly would be, I would say, actual NPCs that can really do well. No, because I mean, there's people that, you know, in real life, there is a code. You know, that's the closest thing to a law, right? There's a code. Oh shit. There's a code. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Slow it down, man. Okay, there we go. I think that's my dead body. But yeah, the council is basically who you have to answer to if you are doing illegal things outside of or inside their jurisdiction. They're not going to allow you to operate as a maverick. You're not going to be a maverick in their territory. You gotta you might have to give tribute too. So I think that's cool because I think there has some realism. There's some realism to that, right? Okay, let's see. What do we have here? 1.0. Okay, we're getting closer. It's got to be my body when I crashed. Yep, I think I see him. Ain't that something, man? Yep. See if I can. Oh crap. There he is. There I am. T-posing. Well, let me get to work. Mercenary Guild 1.0 stuff. Academy of Science 1.0. United Resource Workers 1.0. Same thing for Transport Guild. Building Interiors. What is that? I don't know who that is. Let me get a mark real quick. Come on. I don't want to slam into a damn asteroid. So many freaking asteroids, man. Okay, let's see here. Let's try Pyro. Oh, that's a jump, dude. I might need to stop for some gas. Looks like it's gonna make it. Okay, Nyx system. Interesting. Implementing the Nyx star system into the persistent universe. Tech preview. There's Nyx 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 planets in the system. This is doable, but they want to ensure that. I think they want to incorporate tech preview channel. They want to get some working part of dynamic server meshing if they can. End of year, but then that, I don't know, that it might be the fact of the matter could be, even though dynamic server meshing would help the Nyx system, it wouldn't help it because it's not ready. And what's the most important thing between the two? You would want to have both of them working in conjunction with each other. The most important thing about that would be put the feature in the hands of the community, get us excited, happy about it's a new system. It's technically the community themselves, Shimpasta, let's look at the lore. They do not they got away from the messers, right? But I think they don't condone piracy, but the pirates are still welcome. I think that was the thing they talked about. And it might have been some fluctuation or changes. Nyx was discovered in 2582 during the height of the newly formed United Empire of Earth territory expansion. The system consists of 3 unremarkable planets circling an F-type main sequence star. Astronomically, the most distinct aspect of Nyx is that it is located directly on the border of a dark nebula which enshrouds the orbits of all 3 worlds. The nebula's gases severely hamper visibility and significantly limit scanner use, which means it could mitigate missiles, firing missiles at someone. Also, it's like the cloud of war that you'll see where the Vandal come out of that mist, right? And so it's basically a gun. It's a dogfight, right? It's a dogfight, not a missile fight. Line of sight. I think also it will need the quantum mechanic, right? Because if you're in that nebula and you see glimpses or the UI flickering and fluctuating, you see a little glimpse of where it is until you get up or close. I sent it 07. Howdy and good day, sir. So you go by line of sight. So you just see it and you head in that direction until you're close enough that your scanners can actually solidify what's around you. So that would be a great and cool and strategic dynamic, one that's filled with suspense, because the Vandal could literally come out of that mist with a raiding party and then jump back into the clouds of the nebula. So, whew, I love it. So the nebulous gases severely hamper visibility and significantly limit scanner use, something the star system's few inhabitants rely on. The system was first charted through a jump point in the Bremen system by solo nav jumper Carla Larry. Carla's official claim doesn't specify much of interest in the system, writing that it lacks significant mineral deposits or logical reason to apply the expense of terraformation. Larry did make an attempt to formally name the star's three worlds: Lou, Morgan, and Ashley, apparently after three separate romantic conquests she was pursuing. As per normal policy, the UEE government has never recognized these names, and they have never been widely used. Whether the system's intrepid discoverer was able to impress any of their namesakes is lost to history. In the last 2 centuries, Nix has gained some additional utility as a waypoint on the Castor-Stanton run, with a significant credit value of cargo moving through the system at any one time. Small-scale piracy is not uncommon. Buoyed by the system's nebula, and travelers are warned not to veer off the standard space lanes during transit of that system. So you have Nix 1, 2, and 3, and then you have Delamar, the landing zone that was a part of the original, the market, the original. They introduced Delamar as a feature to say, we want to test this. I want you, we want to play this out. But it's so basically not technically a planet. This large asteroid is hidden deep within the Glacium ring. Anti-UE activists, political radicals, and criminals now occupy the deserted mining facility. Levski built inside this the facility Levski is built inside this asteroid. In an effort to keep out potential criminal elements, visitors are strictly forbidden from entering its residential areas. So Shimpasta, it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum all its own. It has its dualities, right? As it's stated. So Nix 1 is a coreless world that has been mined clean by the Gold Horizon Corporation. So they think. I think there's some remnants there that people will find some things. This freaks me out all the time. These clouds piercing through them. Like I'm gonna slam to the ground. Let me get my radar up. Come on, radar. Give me something, radar. Holy crap, man. These clouds are freaking dense. See, this is something we could probably see at Nix. Okay, I'm high enough. Okay, there we are. God, man. Woof. Feels like I'm gonna slam on the ground. That's a weird feeling for me. So disoriented. Up the rain. Damn it. Okay, I can see a little bit now. Damn, dude. Crusader Spirit. There's a lot of ships out here. It's a mess. Okay. Port site. That's the light on. Shoot. That's with the light on. Bexalite. Not bad. Some Bex. Nix 2, a high pressure atmosphere and thick clouds of acid and carbon dioxide make Nix 2 not worth terraforming. I wonder what that does to your ship. There's copper. Nix 3 is an ice giant that lacks a breathable atmosphere or any valuable materials. Oh, Quantanium, dude. Oh, shoot. Some Q, copper, Festinite, no good. Festinite, mining and pyro, man. Gold, interesting. 24% gold. Okay, let's see here. Agricium. It's a C1. resistance is 7%. So it's a lot of easy handling of this. Distraction mode. All right. %42 gold. I like it. %. No. %18 of gold. Oh, inert material. I can still sell it. I'm going after that 41% of gold. Where is it? %. 3%. 13. Let me see what the other yields are. Gotta go back and check each one for what's valued. I knew there was some Quantanium, but it was so small of an amount that I'm like, no, don't. Bexelite, 31%.
Fracturing mode on.
Challenging, okay. 27% of Quantanium. That might be worth it, but 40% of it, it's only 27% though. I'm mining in the rain. I'm mining in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm rich again. Just mining in the rain. I'm mining in the rain. What a glorious feeling. This lever is happy again. Just mining in the rain, getting my UEC. Oh, it doesn't want to budge. I got to move in a little bit so I had to surge. There we go. In a little bit more. Oh, I knew it.
Critical. Warning. Power critical. Warning. Power critical.
Forward back game. Forward back game. Oh, get back. Damn it. That was a flash on my shields though. All right. 07 Coffee Gaming, how are you, sir? 07 Coffee, how you been? Getting an Empyro, man. 79% Vexilite. And it's crazy, Coffee. Did you know that the inert material will stay in your container and you have to sell it at the other kiosk right across from the, or adjacent to the kiosk you go to refine? Isn't that cool? To empty it. So it won't work because you have residual inert material there. You'll have to actually sell it so so you empty out your cargo. Yes, but you have to. But it's a pain. It's a value, but it's a pain in the butt too, because if you pull in inert material, it'll kind of be stuck, like you're eating something and it gets stuck in your teeth. You got to pick it out. You got to get it out of your freaking cargo bag. So you got to go to the other ore kiosk and basically sell it. And it's like pennies on the dollar, though. Isn't it crazy? They are really, they're saying no one's utilizing that ore selling mechanic. They're gonna make you do it. I'm okay with that, man. There's that extra bit of you got to do this. I really dig that. Okay, so let's see, where can I go to sell this ore? I'll get a facility that's close by. Starlight Services. Can I make it? I should have got the warning that if I can't make it, it says insufficient fuel. Let's see, we'll find out. Not saying anything. Okay, let's get up in the Atmo. Well, yeah, you're right next to the other kiosk that sells ore. You have to go over to it, and then you select your ship, and then you sell it. You have to do it. If not, you will not be able to utilize your cargo bags. They will not work. It will say it's still full. If you go out in the field to mine, you'll look. That's what happened to me. I went to mine and it says full. I was like, wait a minute. Do you mean I slept at the wheel? And I go back and I look, and it's those percentages or those fractional percentages of inert material still stuck in the cargo storage bag. And Twix 07X Twix by design, he said, "Hey Kimmy, that's a new mechanic. You have to look over to your left to that kiosk right next door to you, to the refinery UI, and go and sell it." I was like, what? CIG is those sneaky snakes. They are putting in features, man. You got to sell those leftovers. Yep. You got to sell them, Coffee. We were talking Benoit. We were talking Citizen Con. Were you able to catch any of the video, Coffee? Right. No bones about it. No bones about it. Yeah, it's they're adding in, and they're getting more detailed oriented with certain things, or certain features that were introduced, they're not being utilized fully, then they're integrating gameplay that has to be a part of what you do, your process. So inert material, well, here's the thing. I preached that hopefully we can use inert material as that concrete or glue to connect the seams of our bases. if they're, have some sort of material or glue, and it helps to solidify or harden the material as it's being created. I don't know. It would be cool. How beautiful, man. I think this will be the evolution of cloud tech when we start getting the Vulcan. That's another thing. Will Vulcan also incorporate? Oh, that's a wolf. That's a wolf. We got a wolf. Will it incorporate the new cloud tech? I'm wondering. But that's beautiful in the background right there. That's very refined right there. I want that for Area 18. And I want gray clouds. I don't want them to look gray clouds all the time. I want that kind of brightness when it's a sunny day. Oh my gosh. That's like Free Fly Central all day long. Just getting the game in Free Fly. What the hell, man? Taking the views. Ideally, you won't be the one selling the stuff. Your job is to wait while someone else swaps out the saddlebags. Speaking of saddlebags, what's going on with the Expanse? Will we ever see it at some point next year? I know we're not getting it this year, right? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see what this guy has. Oh, he's got goodies. Am I stuck on this shit? Okay, why is the door jammed? Is he too close to the door? You know what? Here's the other alternative. Go to controls. So I have this. There we go. Simple as that. We can open the doors and let them stay open. All right, buddy. Bombs away. That was a little sick, wasn't it? Oh wow. You're saving something in the. Hey man, what are you doing looking at my movie glass? What are you doing looking at my movie glass? Come on now. Oh, speaking of Mobi-Glass, I would love to be able to utilize opening and closing the doors through the Mobi. And if you're orged up, that should be the same for your org member utilizing the Mobi-Glass. If you're all connected in party, opening and closing it, and not having to walk to the button. And yeah, this is the future, man. Yeah, something's wrong with the open closed door. Oh man. Jury duty. Oh man, good luck with. Hopefully it's just one day coffee. Maybe it's just a traffic stop. Hopefully, right? Fender bender. No more than that. Hopefully. Let it be over by lunchtime. They release you, get lunch, done. Oh, and tell them about Star Citizen. Yeah. Nothing. I'm stopping right there. Jim's like, what are you going to do with all that UEC? Are you stacking it and saving it for something or what? You need to spend it, man. Oh gosh. Now what I have to do is find the freaking the refinery now. Oh, crash the desktop. Give him a message. .3. Okay, launch game. With the perp weighs the same as the duck. Uh-oh. Do you exempt? Oh, I sent it. Oh. Oh. Okay, we're looking at persistence here, everyone. Get me back in the game. Get me back in the game. No, no, no. He's back. All right, here we go. So lobby, we're back. Let's see. Map that says Starlight Service Station, floor 1. Those are hab floors. Starlight Services. I don't think they... Okay, what if Let's see here. Shops. Let's see, let me see if there's a refinery or... No. Let's see, public habitations. I don't think they have it here. No, I have to go to another place. Guns. Submission giver?
Things got a little tense recently. Michael attracted the attention of some, let's just say, less desirable.
I've been better. Had a terrible dream last night. Something woke me up in the middle of it too, and now I can't shake this weird feeling. Like, I know the dream is just my mind processing stuff, but it felt so damn real.
Ran into some frontier fighters last week. Bunch of douchebags trying to explain why I was helping the cause as they were robbing me.
J Red. Is that you, J Red? Sounded like you. Alright, let's see here. It's not gonna be here though. Ship parts. Oh, let me see their guns, man. They have the custom stuff.
How are things? Well, if you say so.
FS9s. Wow. Oh, 7 twigs. Just saying hi. Just saying what's new. Have you ever been to a refinery, Twix? I think this station does not have a refinery. I don't think so. I'll tell you which one I'm at. Starlight Services. I don't think they have a refinery. By off chance, would you know? I know little about Pyro. Okay, what does this say? Vehicle service landing. Okay. Terminus. Yeah, yep. A 20-second delay. I'm on it. Terminus, that's the planet. Checkmate. Docking. Monarchs, that's the planet itself. Patch City. Vehicle services hangar.
You having a good one?
I'm trying to. Yeah. Gaslight. Ver. All right, so okay, checkmate right there. Over here. I'm so glad I did not purchase or actually procure any Quantanium. It was there, but something said, nope, don't do it, man. So glad I didn't. Oh, missions? Oh, to bring you there? Mm-hmm. I would say that they should be stealth based. They should not be official UEE business in that regard. It should be one of those you don't exist, we deny all affiliation if you're caught type of deal. But I think it has to be earned through reputation. I think it has to be a sense of you work under the umbrella of and this is a great segue to bring them in, the overlords, right? We don't exist, you don't exist. On behalf of the overlords, you're going in and doing extraction. Maybe someone's kidnapped or being held hostage. Or you're going in because there's a weapons cache. And that would be loot and enticement or incentive. It would be incentive for looting, right? But it's specific loot that you would go after because it's been procured by criminality, pirates. So you're going into, they stole from a weapons cache, right? In one of the big warehouse facilities. Bearing is fencing it for through the overlords. That would be so freaking military special ops based. It would be ridiculous. It makes sense. It makes sense to do it. Oh, you gotta have fire with the fire rats, man. You know, stuff burning all around, and when you approach that facility, it's fire everywhere. Big pillars of fire, just because they're fire rats, and they're all armed with flamethrowers. Oh my gosh! And hence why you probably need, like the rads for the Onyx mission, you need a fire suit. A heat-resistant suit. Or if not, it could be toasty. Yep. It would be perfect. That's a great idea. I love it. I love it. Especially flamethrowers. And then the incentive for marketing team is to, you earn it or you can buy those flamethrowers. And then the fight fire with fire. Introducing the fire rats. A lot of gameplay implementations. Fun. Fun. Did I not get fuel? Oh, I probably did not. Damn it, why didn't I do that? That's my bad. Hold on. Let me see if I can make it to checkmate. Okay, it's set, I think. Obstructed. Hold on. I can make it. I think I can make it there. There we go. I can make it. I'll just refuel once I get there. But yeah, I would love to see the overlords at some point next year to be introduced into the gameplay structure. Here we go. Let's go, Pyro. But they're showing us that as they layer in these missions with the help of AI and mitigation of desync, higher frame rates, the utilization of Vulkan, I think we're going to see something special with the NPCs, further iteration on that. You know, we're noticing how, let's say they stab themselves with a concoction of a widow / maze that gives you this crazy adrenal rush or resistance to injuries, or you get shot and the next few minutes you get back up and you're back into it again, or they stab their teammates with a pin that gets them raged up, adrenal contraband. And that's another layer of, you got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to be very methodic and thorough in your FPS combat situations, right? And you got to keep a tight band with your cells in order to clear floors and things of that nature. More tactical, and I think it's going to dial into that. Whether it's the actual NPCs / creatures that's involved in the equation too. Trained creatures, you know, utilization of trained creatures. And eventually criminal aliens, and they're using alien technology and creatures as well. Trained creatures that come after you. It's a layered effect of features. Environmental, you know, waist deep in water where you wade, you can't run as much, right? So you're not running around as, you know, even with the depths, there's flooding. There's some things you have to mitigate flooding. If you don't, the sewage water can rise up to a point where you can't run away from some things. Those layers and those environmental mechanics can play a part to detriment your task, the success or failure. You know, timers. You go into a room or section where there's timers that it's going to bleed sewage, and you got to get the key in there to stop it, and you don't do it in time, and it opens up the door for these Valakars that can travel faster underwater, and they're coming after you. Heck, and you got to run and climb up on obstacles to stand up above the water. And there's so many, there's a limited number of pillars you can climb up on. And somebody's going to take one for the team, right? Gameplay implications. fascinating. I mean, it's just opening up the doors for varied gameplay, varied challenges, and it's going to keep people engaged, right? Because you have the ability to create and be creative and incorporate that into the new engine, right? A lot of debris out here, dude. I'm gonna top it off, or I might just go ahead and stay here for the night. And it's getting late for me, man. I gotta deal with the week, and I think this'll do it for now. I'll continue this traversing here and drop these minables off. Let's see here if I can top off some pair fuel. Man, 4.1K. Woo.
Quantum fuel at 100%.
Nice.
Systems off.
I'll stay the night here. Unfortunately. Yikes. All right. He camping out in this creepy place. Oh, refinery deck. I found it. Hello. Oh, did the screen crack? What the hell's going on? Okay, it says current floor entrance. Oh, I forgot. This is old stuff. Okay, am I in the right spot? Okay, so let me star map it. Oh, come on now. What the hell? Hold on. Something's off with this map. It's supposed to tell me what's going on here. There's no information. That's a bug. Oh boy. Shops. Refinery deck. We had an old analog, old school it. Oh, it's just right here. Damn. Why does it look so different from before? It's brighter. Hey, man. Always a pleasure. Coffee, Cat, Timber, Twix, everyone. Rocket Rizzy. Got terminal supplies. Ooh. I remember it's like down a floor or refinement center. Blah, blah, blah. Duh. This works, man. Looks like I'll be doing some work here, y'all. I'm gonna make it last. Put in some work, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be here at least 9 hours. Oh gosh, putting in work at the P row. Yes, indeed. Everyone, '07, thank you so much. I'm gonna continue work. I'm gonna be here for a week or so. I'll tune in, get as we get information. I'll chime in. Check me out on Discord. I'll be sending messages here and there. Gonna stay in tune with what's coming, man. Let's go, CitizenCon chat. Everyone, thank you so much. Much love to y'all. All the best to y'all. I'm gonna get through this week. Be back this weekend, y'all, early. Get ready. Let's go for some adventures, shall we? 07's all the best. We'll catch up. We'll catch up. We'll catch up. 07, Finley. Let's go. CitizenCon is on the way. It's on the way. Shampasta! Ascendant.
It's about that bottom line, baby.